Hello everyone, my name is Elena. Welcome to my channel. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button. And give this video a like. Caution. Young Sheldon Season 6, Episode 14 spoilers ahead. The good news for the program is that Young Sheldon Season 6 demonstrated that, despite having its title character, it is better off without Sheldon. Originally approved to capitalize on the success of The Big Bang Theory, Young Sheldon served as an origin tale for the socially awkward genius. For 2 years, the series ran consecutively, giving CBS control over Thursday evening. Young Sheldon was allowed to continue the franchise when The Big Bang Theory concluded in 2019, and it has been doing a fantastic job. It has even risen to the top of the TV comedy charts. The Big Bang Theory prequel has transcended its original premise, even though the primary appeal of the series was discovering more about its namesake character. This is made evident in Young Sheldon Season 6 by extending the plot and paying more attention to additional family members. Georgie's journey through parenthood with Mandy is one of the year's most interesting storylines. George and Mary experience the highs and lows of their marriage in the meantime. It's for the best that Sheldon is now essentially a supporting character in his own series. Related, Paige's dark young Sheldon future was subtly alluded to by Big Bang Theory. A launch party and a whole human being centers on Mandy's delivery as the main plot point. However, Sheldon is limited to discussing the debut of his database throughout the episode. Although the Big Bang Theory prequel was developing the plotline during the year, it just lacks the intrigue and fascinating quality of the rest of the series, including the dissolution of Mary and George's marriage, and even Paige's return as young Sheldon. Sheldon's attempt to incorporate it into every conversation is therefore unpleasant and distracting, as though the show would be better off without him. This demonstrates that the family comedy has now developed to the point where it is independent of the familiarity of its title character. CBS is able to continue Young Sheldon even after the brilliant youngster leaves Texas to pursue his master's degree and even travels to Germany as a visiting professor since it has outgrown its original premise. The comedy doesn't have to follow Sheldon's established path anymore because the network may rework it as a family sitcom that addresses what happens to Mary, Georgie, Missy, and Mima despite George's imminent death. The show still has enough characters to keep it going even if George's approaching death of young Sheldon is terrible, and losing Sheldon once he moves alters the entire dynamic of the program. In any case, CBS has naturally reduced the boy genius's role in the prequel, which will facilitate the transition. The Big Bang Theory prequel might still be a fun family sitcom if it just refocuses some of its narrative on the other Cooper family members, especially Missy. With Sheldon visiting from time to time, Mary's presence will serve as the Big Bang Theory's connecting thread, while the remaining content face the truth. Young Sheldon is thriving without Sheldon Cooper, and believe it or not, that's actually one of the best things to happen to the Big Bang Theory franchise in years. For all the love that fans have for Sheldon's quirky brilliance, his absence has allowed young Sheldon to shine in ways that few expected. From building its own unique identity to offering a fresh perspective on the Cooper family, the show has become a powerhouse in its own right. So grab your popcorn and buckle up, because here's why young Sheldon is better off without Sheldon, and why that's a fantastic thing for the series. Let's start with the obvious. Sheldon Cooper is brilliant, but he's also a lot to handle. We all love Jim Parsons' iconic portrayal of Sheldon, but there's no denying that his character can sometimes dominate every storyline in The Big Bang Theory. His eccentricities, while endearing, also often overshadow the other characters. In The Big Bang Theory, Sheldon's personality could be both a blessing and a curse. While his interactions with his friends were central to the show, they also put him at the center of almost every plotline, leaving little room for others to shine. This is where young Sheldon comes in. When the spin-off was announced, fans weren't sure how the show would work without the larger-than-life character of Sheldon Cooper. How could a prequel that focuses on a young Sheldon be successful when the very thing that made The Big Bang Theory a hit was Sheldon himself? The answer, surprisingly, came quickly. By shifting the focus away from Sheldon and letting the other characters, especially his family, take center stage, young Sheldon found its own identity. In Young Sheldon, we're introduced to Sheldon as a child, but the show doesn't just revolve around him. It takes a deeper dive into the lives of his family members, particularly his mother, Mary, his father, George, and his siblings, Georgie and Missy. Each of these characters is given a chance to develop and evolve, something that wasn't always possible in The Big Bang Theory due to Sheldon's overwhelming presence. Mary Cooper, played by the incredibly talented Zoe Perry, quickly became a fan favorite. As Sheldon's fiercely protective and devoutly religious mother, Mary has some of the most relatable and emotional moments in the show. She's the heart of the Cooper family, and by focusing on her experiences as a mother of a genius, young Sheldon is able to explore themes of family dynamics, faith, and sacrifice that The Big Bang Theory only touched on in passing. Then there's George, Sheldon's often misunderstood father, portrayed by Lance Barber. While he was a secondary character in The Big Bang Theory, young Sheldon allows George to come into his own. Viewers get to see his struggles as a father trying to support his family while coping with his own issues. He's not just a foil to Sheldon's genius. He's a complex, relatable character with his own flaws and moments of growth. This shift in focus from Sheldon to George was a brilliant move that gives the show emotional depth. Let's not forget Georgie and Missy, Sheldon's siblings, who also get more screen time in Young Sheldon. Georgie, often portrayed as the slacker older brother in TBDT, is given a more nuanced role in the prequel. He's trying to figure out his place in the world, especially in a household dominated by Sheldon's intellect. Missy, meanwhile, serves as a refreshing contrast to her brother's eccentric genius. Her witty remarks and down-to-earth attitude make her an integral part of the show, offering viewers a perspective that's grounded in reality, something that's often absent when Sheldon is around. By the time Sheldon becomes the adult we know and love in The Big Bang Theory, the narrative is already so focused on his personal quirks that it can be hard to build strong arcs for other characters. Young Sheldon avoids this pitfall by giving the audience a chance to see the characters before they were shaped by Sheldon's influence. It's fascinating to watch these characters grow and evolve outside of Sheldon's shadow. This exploration of the Cooper family dynamics, without Sheldon at the forefront, allows for more relatable, grounded storytelling that resonates. Sheldon's absence allows the show to experiment with different types of humor and emotional beats that wouldn't work in the context of The Big Bang Theory. Young Sheldon embraces its own quirky tone, more heartwarming, more focused on family drama, and less reliant on the one-liners and intellectual humor that Sheldon often brought to the table. It's a show about a family raising a genius, not just about the genius himself, and that's made all the difference. While Sheldon may have been the star of The Big Bang Theory, young Sheldon proves that supporting characters can carry a show just as effectively. From the moment we see Mary Cooper struggling to raise a child prodigy, to Georgie trying to make sense of his life, young Sheldon offers a fresh, compelling narrative that doesn't rely solely on Sheldon's antics. Take Mima, Sheldon's tough yet loving grandmother, for example. She's hilarious, but also deeply caring in her own way. The dynamic between Mima and Sheldon adds a layer of complexity to the show, showing that Sheldon's intellect is balanced by the love and wisdom of his family. Mima's role is pivotal, providing a sense of grounding that Sheldon often lacks. She may not always understand Sheldon's genius, but she gets him in ways others don't. Furthermore, the chemistry between Sheldon and his siblings, particularly Missy, adds warmth to the show. The sibling rivalry, and the moments of affection between them provide some of the show's most relatable and funny moments. In The Big Bang Theory, Sheldon's relationships with his friends and colleagues often took center stage. In Young Sheldon, it's the family that plays the starring role, and it's refreshing to see the show focus on the complex dynamics that drive them. Without Sheldon dominating the narrative, Young Sheldon has been able to explore themes that are often overlooked in The Big Bang Theory. It tackles the challenges of being a young genius in a small Texas town, but it also dives deep into issues like class, religion, and identity. Characters like Mary and George deal with financial stress, while Georgie's struggles with school and relationships add a layer of relatability to the show. For example, Young Sheldon tackles the idea of growing up in a world that doesn't fully understand you, which is something that resonates with many people. It's not just about Sheldon's genius, but about the family's efforts to help him navigate a world that isn't equipped to deal with his extraordinary abilities. This theme is explored through George's frustration with his son's intellect, Mary's constant battle to keep Sheldon grounded, and Georgie's attempts to break free from the expectations placed on him. While The Big Bang Theory was often a show about finding your place in the world, Young Sheldon is more about growing up and discovering who you are without being overshadowed by a genius. It's a family-centric show that doesn't rely on Sheldon's brilliance to carry it forward. By giving space for the other characters to grow and develop, Young Sheldon has evolved into a charming, heartfelt series that is more than just a prequel. It's a fresh take on a familiar world, one that doesn't need Sheldon to succeed. In the end, Young Sheldon proves that the show doesn't need Sheldon to be the heart of the story. In fact, the absence of Sheldon at the forefront has allowed the other characters to shine in ways that The Big Bang Theory never could. By exploring the Cooper family's dynamics and giving each character their own arc, Young Sheldon has become its own entity, one that is, frankly, better off without Sheldon. And that's not only a good thing, it's great for the future of the show. So, the next time you sit down to watch Young Sheldon, remember this: it's not just about Sheldon anymore. It's about the people who raised him, the struggles they face, and the love they share. And in that, the show has found a brilliance all its own, one that stands apart from the shadow of Sheldon Cooper's genius. Thanks for watching this video. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel and stay with us.